I tell you this because, as an artist, I think you'll understand.
Mimesis is an old literary and philosophical term meaning imitation. It is a powerful magic akin to painting animals on a cave wall before one goes to hunt. Its very success in controlling reality led Plato to suggest banishment for the poets from his republic, putting poets on the defensive ever since. Whether it is a divine intoxication, a madness and possession, a will, or simple distortion of things that are, artists are liars or demigods, putting to page their own vision, an interpretation, rather than a true picture of truth. In the haunted house story of ideology and artistic endeavor, those who seek to overthrow reality, to chase down the mystery of the locked room at the end of the hall, either end up destroying art or committing what Milan Kundera in the Book of Laughter and Forgetting called the lost deed. Pinning a dead ideal on the changeless world of verity. Telling a truth that, in its telling, becomes a lie. When I turn to look for a theologian of mimesis, I first fall in the direction of Jorge Luis Borges. I have always imagined that paradise will be a kind of library, he said. I cannot sleep unless I am surrounded by books. And two perhaps complimentary and paradoxical quotes. Don't talk unless you can improve the silence. And to fall in love is to create a religion that has a fallible God. Borges' characters are often written without details of birth or origin, but only of character and the thoughts of which they are capable. He creates bizarrely metaphysical plots and strangely reflexive narrative. We'll look briefly now at two particular stories that frame the opening shot of the mimetic war and perhaps its ultimate destiny. The Garden of Forking Paths and The Aleph. In The Garden of Forking Paths, it is the story of a spy who is in a dangerous situation behind enemy lines. He must make escape to a friend of an ancestor who fled public life to, he said, construct a labyrinth. That labyrinth, in fact, turns out to be the mysterious novel he left behind. And in that labyrinthine work, a single word conspicuously absent. That word being time. Discussions of the friend, the ancestor, of the branching ways we have come to this place, the different people we might have been to make this connection. In the end, the spy, who has fled the enemy camp to try to get his word to his network of the name of a city where the enemy has operations, is about to be captured, and yet manages to kill a man whose name is that of the city he needs to telegraph to his network. Suggesting that when we move forward from the timeless labyrinth to make a thought into a concretized action, we also negate all other forking paths. We pin it down like the taxidermist's butterfly. To name something is to destroy it. And then the Aleph, a story about the project of completely mapping the territory, as Baudrillard would have it, of describing every bit of reality so that the description might be stepped into and the original discarded. What some say Joyce achieves with Dublin in his novel Ulysses. The Aleph is a story about a man named Borges, incidentally, who has just lost his beloved. He continues to visit with her family at her home and eventually is taken into the confidence of her cousin. Her cousin is writing a poem, attempting to write down every place and thing on Earth, an exhaustive catalog of reality. As it turns out, the reason for this project is not that the poet is simply inept and artless, as the narrator suspected after being read some inept and artless bits of the whole. What is going on is, its author has peered into an Aleph. The Aleph, a kind of cosmic viewmaster that shows the purent everything, absolutely everything that is lurking in the basement of the home. And when he is set to be forced to move house, the cousin reveals its existence to Borges. An Aleph, the only place on Earth where all places are, seen from every angle, each standing clear, without any confusion or blending. When the character Borges peers into this strange machine, he vows never to speak of it again, but only advises that the poet get more fresh air, and remains thankful when, days and days later, he is able to find sleep again. Significant that this story takes place on the heels of the loss of life, and the Garden of Forking Paths takes place in the moment of a life's decision. And what lies in between for the artist? Between banishment, between totalitarianism and absolute freedom. Struggle for light. The allegory of the cave, another hidden pocket of Plato's Republic. The Aleph, a hand pointing to heaven and a hand pointing simultaneously to earth. Raphael's painting of the School of Athens, where Plato points up to the realm of the ideal forms, and Aristotle gestures, demonstrating back down to earth, to the immanent being and universality in the world all around us. this is why we are artists. And this is why Plato, who wrote poems of philosophy, is but a hypocrite. This is why we're all drunk on coffee. This is why we are the insomniac breed. To strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world. When speaking with his mother about art in the largely autobiographical Stephen Hero, James Joyce jibes gleefully at his pragmatic mother, who wants to read his favorite author Ibsen to get a vision of some different life, to sample an ideal of a great artist for how one should live his experiment, or to better know her son, and, as Joyce suggests, check up on whether he is reading dangerous books. But that is wrong. That is the great mistake everyone makes. Art is not an escape from life. No. You evidently weren't listening to what I said, or else you didn't understand what I said. Art is not an escape from life. It's just the opposite. Art, on the contrary, is the very central expression of life. An artist is not a fellow who dangles a mechanical heaven before the public. The priest does that. The artist affirms out of the fullness of his own life. He creates. Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand?